I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. You're watching all of these amazing interviews I have with my authors here on Dream Chasers Radio. And I am telling you right now that we would be idiots, and you know what I'm going to say, without an author. Okay? Idiots. I mean, where would the books come from? I mean, math, science, history, English. I know English literature. Some of you guys love that. I mean, I like the movies, but I definitely wouldn't be going to the movies without a writer. I mean, authors are prime. They should be getting like awards and all kinds of stuff, because I'm telling you, it is not easy to sit there sometimes and have your imagination going. And that's exactly what my next author is doing. Welcome to the show.
Well, welcome. And thank you very much for having me, Yaya.
No problem. Okay, so we got to get into it now. Got to find out. So you knew you were going to be an author. You knew that you wanted to write. You knew that you wanted to do all this. But when did you find out that you wanted to do this?
Basically, I went to Princeton Theological Seminary. I majored in youth ministry. And during my youth sermons, I found I had a real knack for writing for children, and I really enjoyed it. And because I could use my imagination in my sermons and write every week pretty much on whatever topic I wanted to. I wanted to write things that held the students' interest and that was fun, but also a meaningful message. The why was always there. And so that's in this book too. The why is climate change. And it's an important message for the up and coming youth, because they have to have a planet to inherit, and they have to start resolving climate change if they're going to have a planet to grow up on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. Wow. So when you were writing this book, how did you determine that was going to be the subject, or have you always wanted to have a subject like that for children?
I've always wanted to have a subject like that for children. I wanted the up and coming generation to have a grassroots effort. And by getting the book out there and getting a following, I'm hoping we can establish MJ Nation, Mutt and Jack's Nation, and get some political awareness going and some grassroots efforts at having meetings in schools and football games and churches and potlucks and at people's houses, and get them talking about climate change and why this is such a critical issue, because the environment is being impacted by fracking and the oil refineries. The polar caps are melting, which is impacting the polar bears. The bottles are filling the oceans, and we have floating islands of debris. And if the world is going to be sustained, we have to be good stewards of it. But that's just one component of the book. It's a mystery, and the protagonist, Harold Hanson, has an extraterrestrial dog named Mutt, who has magical powers and can talk and can communicate telepathically. And they go on an interstellar journey to Planet Zealon, where they encounter the heart tree. And the heart tree has them sleuthing clues as to what their mission is. And they have to fulfill their mission on Planet Zealon. And the heart tree is transformed into a transponder. And I'm not going to give away the ending of the book, but something amazing happens at the end that will leave the reader filled with joy and very surprised. There's a major twist at the end of the book.
Awesome. I love this. I was just reading, because that's what I was kind of listening to you, but I was reading and I was looking at it. It's like, okay, so at one point it's like Jack is saying to the dog, perform some magic for me. How did you come up with the names and then the magical, abilities of the dog?
Well, I figured since he was an extraterrestrial, he should have special powers. And children love magic. And so he has magical powers, because that's something that children really get into, is magic. And the connection between kids and their dogs is a very strong bond. The scientific proof is there for the connection between human beings and dogs. So I called him Mutt because I wanted him to be shaggy. And he's kind of based on a image of a dream I had of a dog and he has one blue eye and one black eye, and that's based loosely on my parents' dog, who had one blue eye and one black eye to make him look distinguished. But what makes the magic happen is when he barks. When he goes woof, when he barks, that's when the magic happens. So every
Wow.
time Mutt barks, something magical happens. And he has wings that come out of his shoulders, and he can fly down from the swing set that he's swinging on. And he can fly to the top of the heart tree to get the heart fruit when he's ailing and needing to replenish and restore his powers. And so he has a side to him that is frail too, like the planet. He has to be taken care of, and Mutt has to be taken care of by Jack. And so when they bring him to the heart tree and he eats the heart fruit to restore his powers, Jack is looking out for his dog, just like at the very beginning when Jack gives him a bath. Mutt is teaching Jack about responsibility, but Jack is being taught to care for his dog, just as we are to care for the planet Earth. There's symbolism there between the boy and his dog and our relationship with the earth.
Wow. Wow. That is so cool. I love what you did with that. Are there going to be any sequels to this or any new books that are going to come out in this particular line? Or do you have another subject that you want to tackle?
I'm writing a book right now called Andy Pandy and the Mystery in Room 209, and that's going to be my children's book series. I'm writing the debut book. I'm on chapter 3 of my second children's book right now, and that's going to be Andy Pandy is a third grade middle school sleuthing character with his two best friends, Cindy and Bruce, and they have a substitute teacher named Mrs. Frumpy, and she has priceless golden glasses with pearl inlay. And during the administration of the math test, she wakes up and her glasses are missing, and there's 3 suspects. Carlisle, who was passing notes in class to his love interest and got hauled by the neck into the corner and was embarrassed in front of the class by Mrs. Frumpy. And then there's Amanda, who has a private collection of glasses at home, and she wants those glasses for her private collection. And then there's Stinky, who is too poor to buy glasses, and he's failing math class because he can't read the test and he can't read the board, and he needs her glasses in order to pass the class. So they're sleuthing to see which one of them is the culprit, and then they have to go to the principal's office and they get a month's detention. But there's magical powers in the glasses, and Mrs. Frumpy, something happens to her when she gets her glasses back. And I'm not going to give the ending away again, but there's a surprise twist at the end. When she gets her glasses back, something magical and big happens that will surprise the reader and again fill them with joy. I like to have happy endings in my children's books.
Definitely. Wow. Wow, that is so cool. You got me wanting to read it now. I'm gonna find out what happened to her glasses.
It's a lot of fun. I'm
I
having
love
fun
it.
writing it.
I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, coming up with the characters, coming up with the plot and all that stuff. What kind of advice do you give to people who are trying to write books like this or trying to even write a book? What did you tell them?
Oh, definitely keep a notebook. And when you hear a good conversation and you have interesting conversation going around with another table or at a ball game or at a bowling alley or something at a school meeting, jot down notes. And when you wake up in the morning, when you have a dream, record your dream, record the characters, because in Mutt and Jack's Extraordinary Adventure, I had a dream about the protagonist, Jack Harold Hanson, and his extraterrestrial dog. It came to me in a dream, the main beginning chapter where he's bathing the dog and the dog reveals his magical powers and that he can talk and that he can read Jack's mind, and that he's
Wow.
obviously not from Earth because of his powers. And later on, they dress alike. They wear Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses, and they go to the playground and they meet their 2 best friends, Heidi and Vance, that they go sleuthing in the cave. And then they encounter the living ship Giggles. And then from there, they take the living ship through the interstellar journey to Planet Zealon. And it's filled with fantastical creatures like halligans that have the body of a horse and the head of a panda bear. All of this came to me in dreams. And so I keep a notebook and I jot notes about all these innovative and imaginative ideas that I come up with in my writing.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Great advice. Definitely. Oh my gosh. Miss Jodi, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I tell you, this has been one of my, I love this. And I'm going to have to watch this interview again. I probably missed something. I'm not going to lie to you. This has just been one of those where you got my imagination going. I am such a fan of just superpowers. Love it. Love it. To the point where I am an older woman who will dump everybody for Superman. Bye. So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Have you ever thought about maybe having your movie or your books turned into movies or cartoons?
Yes, yes, we're working with Dream Books Media Professionals right now, and we are getting a movie agent, and the book idea will be pitched to Hollywood studios, and we're hoping the book will be adapted to film. That's the whole goal of working with Dream Books Media Professionals. They're out of Houston, Texas, and they are helping us with a movie agent, and we're paying for that. And we're hoping that the screenplay that they write will be pitched, and we're hoping somebody says yes and we get a backer, and that there will be a film coming out of this book. Yes, definitely.
I love it. I can't wait to go watch it in the movies. Watch out, y'all.
Do that.
Hey, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go watch my movie. Go away. I got some superhero movies to watch. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
No, the pleasure's mine. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Where can they find your book?
They can find Mutt and Jack's Extraordinary Adventure on authorhouse.com or amazon.com or Barnes and Noble. And if they want the ebook, it's on Nook and Kindle Scribed, and it's also on Apple Books and Google Books. But the main place to get it is authorhouse or amazon.com.
Awesome. And we're going to have that link in the and we're going to have that link in the description box below so that it'll be easy for you guys to go ahead and get that today. And I want to thank you again so much for being on the show. I mean, just amazing. I mean, even your speech, just the way you talk is like, I want to go read that book. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I hope everybody does.
Yes, I hope so too. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to go ahead and click on that link today and check out that book for yourself and also for your children. But you know, if your kid at heart like me, you would want to go get it too. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.